Hi everyone, I was asked to show you guys how I do my slings, Balearic slings. So what you will need is we will aim to do about, I say, 25-inch sling. So what you will need, let's start with 16 foot of cord, paracord. All right, that's what you're gonna do with that paracord is fold it in half, so you have 2 times 8 foot. All right, you can leave this just like that, you can cut it, it's up to you. I will leave it like that. Once this is done, you're gonna fold it in half once again, just to find the middle of it. All right, now I'm in the middle of the 2 times 8 foot. All right, so I don't lose this. Sometime what I do, I take just a piece of string to tie it up. This is just so I don't lose it for now. We're gonna cut it shortly. All right. Once this is done, get this, get that. Hopefully that won't undo. Sorry, I just lost my lighter. So now, what we're gonna do with this? This is our middle. The way we start with the loops handle. All right, the finger things that you put it in. So what I'm gonna use this color, nice lovely red that I have left over, and I'm gonna cut, if I'm correct, something like another 4 foot of this. Let's say 5. Let's go for 5 foot. All right. Now, when you do this, it's quite different for one another. Just, well, I mean, for the length of it, because we all have different finger size and finger. So, what you're gonna do, it's you're gonna bring this close to the middle. You're gonna do just a simple knot. Just a simple knot. You're gonna bring it really close to it, let's say like this, to the middle. And then you're gonna tight that knot. All right, so now it's simple. Some people know it, some people don't. You see on this side, this rope, this piece of cord, it seems to be on top, and this one seems to face bottom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring it over it, just like this. All right, and that one, you see it's already under this. You keep it under it and you bring it into this hole right here. Now you're gonna tighten this up a little bit. All right, now the way it looks, you see there's a bulge on this side and not on this side. So it's because this cord is going on top and the other one's going on the bottom. So what you're gonna do, whoops, yeah. Let me fix this. All right, let's see how it is. For people that been doing these type of stuff, they usually know this knot. Otherwise, you can easily find it on YouTube. Now this one's gonna go under, over this piece, and in that hole right here. See, this is the start of it. Now this one's going under, over this rope. This rope is going in that hole, going over. Now we got the start. You see, once you see this, it's easier to go. These ones are going under like this. This one's gonna go grab this cord and go over it into that hole. You see, like this. Now it's the opposite. This one go under. This one go under this rope to grab it and in that hole. And then you tight it. You see, you start to get the pattern. Now under, over, in it. Once again. Now you can measure your finger. So you see, this is pretty good. Let's do it one more. Don't go too big, because when it goes too big, when it gets tight, it doesn't tight on your finger. It's gonna leave it loose like this, and that's not so good. So now, when we have this, so I'm gonna have to do another one like this on this side. All right, so first what I usually do is I count the number of folds, starting with the one that has the most. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I have to do 8 of them. So when I reach this point, what I do, I cut the cord quite close to it before singeing it. There we go. And we'll do the same on this side. Right, now we got one. See you in a bit for the loop. All right, now we got at this part. By the way, guys, this type of knot, let's say, it's called cobra knot. All right, and so check it out. All right, you can find tutorial on the Cobra knot easily on YouTube. So now we got the base of our finger loop. Since we got this, now we can go ahead and cut that little white rope. All right. Now we got that little space. So what we gonna do? Lucky me, I got those. You're gonna go in between those two. All right. And you're gonna bring those leads to the two pieces, between the two pieces. All right. Much easier with long nose or little pliers like little hemostat like I got. So now we got two. Let's bring the two others to it. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's our loop. We're probably gonna have to cut it soon enough. And we bring it into it. And now we see our finger loops appearing. All right, so now we got our finger loop appearing. Now we got those four pieces down here. So we're gonna leave a little space, about, I would say about this half an inch, before we do a snake knot with both of them. All right. And again, you can find the tutorial for the snake knot on YouTube pretty easily, because these are famous and useful knot. All right. So now once we got it equal, we can go ahead and tighten it up. All right. There we go. So that leaves us room to open our link and close it down on our fingers like this. All right. From now on, we're gonna braid these. All right, we got four pieces, and I'll show you some trick for some people that have a little trouble doing those. I'll show you a trick. I take one string like this. I tie it up over that knot. Those nylon covered, make sure they're tight. They're tied well, because they have that tendency to undo themselves easy. Let's get this little part. It's gonna be in the way. Now we got this. This here, it's only gonna be a guide. All right, yeah, it's unwinding. So you're gonna have to go ahead and burn and singe the cord, because otherwise you're gonna lose it. So this is just gonna be a guide, all right, for people that need it. All right. What I usually do, I clamp these, and I take this little white string. I try to find something to clip it to it, which I have my bullwhip little arrangement. So I got this right here. All right, Now it's just gonna be a guide, because we're gonna some sort of plate over this. All right, now you're gonna do like this. All right, and first thing first, you're gonna take just one. Well, we'll start with two, and you're gonna go around, and in between just one on this side. All right, you're gonna make sure it's nice and real tight. So now it looks like this. All right, now you're gonna take the single one, and you will bring it in between those two. That's why we need to cut this part. So we have two strings. Should have done it at the beginning. Right, now we take that single one, the top one, bring it in between the two going under. Now we got this, you tighten them up, make sure they're nice and tight. You're gonna take the top one going under and in between the two on the other side and bring it over. Now you tighten it up. Again, you take the one on top, you bring it over, well, I mean under, and after that over. There we go. Some people don't need the guide. I'm just showing you guys a trick for people who have trouble making 4-strand braid. And this is how you go until the end. I'll see you in a bit once I get there. All right, now I got this done. This is that little guide. Actually, what it does, besides just being a guide, if you look at the consistency of this braid, it's really even. You'd rarely get this even when you just braid it normally. So now I got 20-inch of it. We might unwind a little bit of it because I'll show you why. But first, you need to secure this, all right? You got 4 strands. You're gonna take the one on top here and the one on the bottom right here. You're gonna go and just make a simple knot, just so the braid doesn't undo itself. All right, we're gonna get back to this. Now we're gonna remove the guide, and the reason why I say we're gonna get back to the knot, it's because when you remove this guide, once you cut this part, cut the nut, because it's gonna get stuck, you're gonna pull on it and there's no more guides. All right, now you just have the braid. But there's one thing: when you remove the braid, the guide, it stretch a little bit, just a little bit. So you might bust the 20-inch. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure it once again from the tip of those to the bottom of the braid. I have 20 on a dot. You might have to undo this and redo it. So now we're gonna undo this little flimsy knot, And what we gonna do? We're gonna do a snake knot once again, like we did on top here. All right. Go. Oop. Try to make it nice and make the two piece follow. There we go. Okay, now we got our little snake knot. Now we got these. This is gonna be our baskets. All right. We'll get back to this in one moment. Hi guys, so now time for the baskets. So it's gonna be two sides. We're gonna be braided just like this. Super simple. So we're gonna need 6 foot of this color. And once again, let's clamp this. All right, let's do this just this side. And now, let's do this.
J'ai une très bonne nouvelle pour vous.
De quoi?
Ces temps-ci, le Moza est seulement 4.
Sorry. All right, so now, I usually always start with a knot. Just a plain knot to anchor it well. Real tight. So now, once again, under, over, tight. Right now I'm pretty much halfway, and sometime what I do is I bring a link on this side to link both basket, but for this time I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it a normal. see how far we are now. Where's my tape? Yeah, we're at 6" now. So now I'm gonna do as we did before. Cut this, singe it. This one. Right, now we got one side done, and once again another 6 foot of this. Oh, just enough. I have a tiny piece for my ending, and that's great. All right, now we'll take the other 6. Simple knots once again, and let's do this. See you in a moment. All right, now we got this part done, this part done. We got the basket done. Now we're gonna do it. So guess what? Make a snake knot on both sides. I guess you guys figured that out. We're gonna do everything we've done on the other side, but on this side. Once it's nice and ready like this, I usually tie it like this so it's equal. Yes. Now we got our pouch. And now, guess what? That's gonna be the same. We're gonna put a lead on this. Just to use it as a line, as a guide, should I say. To keep the same consistency of the other side. Sorry guys, I'm French, so might have a little accent. Yeah, there we go. Let's get this. Cinch this so it doesn't undo itself. Alright. I hate when my boss is here. Yeah, that's the boss. He is running after every piece of string he sees. All right, so now let's keep going. Let's tie this once again, this again, and in case you missed it the first time, I'll show it again. You take that two top piece, you fold the right and the left. Now you got a little X. Now you take this one in the back, you bring it in the back over, and then you make this tight, bring it up tight. Now the top one under, over, and there we go. Make sure they're tight. Once you got like a couple of waves done, tie them up. Okay, now I can braid 4-strand, but since I discovered this trick that I did for some dude, I always use it because I think my braids are so much nicer and tighter and even all the way. Almost look like a machine did it. So yes, you need to go like this for 20 inches. I'll see you in a bit. Sorry, I told you guys to braid it to 20 inch. I was wrong, it's 15 inch. Because I'll show you why. Because we need to do our release finger. So now let's cut this. Right. Now, when we get at 15 inch, we're gonna do, guess what? Another snake knot. We always finish with the snake knot because it's a beautiful knot and it is a strong knot. Sorry for the volume. I just realized that I didn't put my microphone on. Alright. Now, since we're at 15, we still have some. You see, you bend this in half to make sure it's nice and centered. And now you bring it together. And you see what you got left to do. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna do another three or four snake knot right after this one on the 15 inch side. And what that does, it add weight to this side, because by doing those you had more rope and more weight to a side, and that side, it's the opening side, and the opening side, faster it open, more precise it is. Even sometime I'll show you after, because we're gonna create a little pad, a release pad. I always like to measure to make sure everything. I think we're gonna have to do another 2 knots. Right, so now we have, yes, now you see it gets really even, real nice. And now always like to measure a few times. All right, everything is nice and done. Let's get back for the release pad. All right, now for the release pad, what I'd like to do, I tried many things before, and what I like to do most of the time, it's this. The 2 outside cord coming out, I will cut and cinch at the knot right here. Only keep the 2 inside cords. All right. Now, what we're gonna do is take my last piece, the little last piece that I have here. This part is might be a little tricky, but you will get it eventually. All right, so now what you got to do is measure it and bring it as close as you can from the end here. And these 2 pieces, what I usually do, take a little bit of this garbage out. So I only have the black rope, the black outside of the paracord. And what I do with this, I'm gonna cinch them together. And if you do this well, this should be as solid as anything else. All right, this is gonna be our release pad. All right, because we're gonna braid a pad on this. Now, just clamp this once again. Now we got this loop, and we will do as we did before with the red rope. Let's make a knot over this, just like this. real tight, and you're gonna do this. Just for about, like, let's say 4 passes, because it's only a little pad for your finger to hold on to. And I think it's nice when it's, you know, people like these, I like when it's nice and flat, and it seems to release much nicer. And I will say something, some people might not like it, but I'll say it again, I'll say it anyway. Crackers don't belong on freaking slings, alright? They belong on bullwhips. And if by any chance you want to add a cracker to it, you had it right here before you end this. Alright? And I will do one more pass. You see, once again, this is where you put your cracker right through it before you're done with your pad. You see, now we got this. What I do to lock it, it's I bring at least one piece of cord through this little hole, and by doing so it locks it down. All right. Now I pull it down to the tip of it like this, and then now I can cut and cinch cords. This one, and this one. So now we got our finger pad to hold on to. So now our sling is done. Let's put this away so we can have a better look at it. This is our sling. God damn it, I just realized my camera is not I hate those fucking cameras. It should be vertical, not vertical. You see, now you got your release and your finger. So yes, this was how to make a sling with Ghost.
Crew, I brainwashed, thinking that I always